Okay, so we are going to read today this Reddit post. The internet is getting smaller without anyone noticing. So this looks very relevant to the current, scenario, and I think it's worth reading it and understand the argument behind that this Reddit post. So let's start, So the title of the post is very straightforward, as I said. The internet is getting smaller without anyone noticing. Now let's read the description and try it, and we will see what is the argument given for that. Let's just agree that the experience of being online has changed despite the same platforms and the same voices. Despite more content than ever, discovery feels dot dot dot. Narrow algorithms reward familiarity, not curiosity. The web still exists, but most people live inside five apps and call it the internet. Really trivializes the name World Wide Web. Okay, so the argument looks very straightforward to me. Basically, he is saying that, okay, how many apps do we use? So we hardly use like maybe three apps, four apps. You have a one social media app, and then you have a. But it's. I think this is more of a. This argument is more for a website. Not like apps, because apps still we have lot of apps, and still we have lot of websites, but we are not using it. We're sort of in the bubble that mostly we use the apps that are well known. So this is the argument of this Reddit post, and I sort of agree with this, that yes, um, I've experienced it also in last 10 years. I feel like the internet is getting smaller and smaller, and I think the reason is, you know for example, take the example of blogs. 7 8 years ago, people used to have blog sites. They used to have blogs, and but now, not so much. Now people just post and give their opinions on social media, or there is a Substack where you can go and write blog. So it is all, uh, the good point about all this is I do not have to remember lot of web addresses that I had to remember if you know these services were not consolidated. So that's the one advantage, to be honest. So let's read further and try to see what people are saying about this post. So this guy, Cold Wayne, Reddit has very weird usernames. I like it. I like that about Reddit a lot. Internet is a mall. Has been since like 2010. It's bunch of commercial spaces designed to sell you shit or steal your data, pulling you in with addicting but meaningless entertainment. Well, the irony is he's making this comment over the internet, and I do not really agree with this because internet has made my life much easier. I can order the cab, and I remember when I was growing up, to get a cab I have to go very far away, to get a cab. Now I just have to press the button, and same for the food. Does can it lead to, there are some side effects, of course, but it has made life easier. For example, booking a flight. I don't have to go anywhere. I just have to use my phone to book the flight. So things like that has become very easy due to internet. And I don't think so. I think this is true, this statement, internet is a mall. And it makes you addict and it gives you meaningless entertainment is also true, is also very true. But at the same time, internet has made the life easy, and that is also true. So both things are true. That is a I'm reading this comment now. That is a brilliant analogy. The internet used to be a high street of independent retailers. You wandered down and you had your favorite according to your taste. AI has opened an out of town mall full of the chains it chooses, but you go out there out of simplicity and the high street slowly dies off. I don't think so. It has anything to do with AI as much, because even before AI, I remember the lot of services have been consolidated into one single application, you know, and there are few different applications, yes, but then it is not as wild as the early days of internet. So I do agree here that um, that there is a consolidation of the services into single apps, but what I don't agree with is that AI is the reason behind that. But however, the AI is escalating that process a lot, because I mean, the quality of the content or the quality of the services has also gone down. Because, for example, I'm reading an article and now I know, like, okay, I'm reading this article. Is it even written by the real person or not? So that has become a sort of, you know, a new problem. The quality, which was never good, to be honest, which was never good in the first place, but now it is becoming even worse. So let's move on. Now, let me read this comment. It was kind of dying before AI. Yeah, I agree. That is this is what I said. Their internet since 2000 was Borders plus Banners and Noble, and AI is the Amazon of bookstores. The small independent stores were already mostly dying out. Yes, I'm not going to read all 8 replies or read all 4 replies here. I will move ahead and I'm going to read this comment now. It feels like a dying mall. Not that internet is dying, but a bunch of the old websites I used to visit as a kid have closed and nothing has really sprung up in its place. All the mall stores are closed. All the malls stores are closed except for a few big ones, social media, YouTube, etc. So it feels like a surreal ghost town and everything conglomerated into one of the main sites. Yes, I think this person have the word conglomerated and I was using the word consolidated, but I hope that you guys got the point that everything is coming together in one, or in few services. Let's read this one. 10 years ago I had an ever evolving bookmark full of sites I visit regularly. This is so true. This is so true. uh, Let me highlight it so that we can all see. 10 years ago I had an ever evolving bookmark full of sites I would visit regularly. This is very, very, very right. And this is what I have experienced myself, that I had like bookmarks after bookmarks. Now it's pretty much Reddit and YouTube. And this is what we are doing. I'm making this video on YouTube using Reddit. As soon as they figured out how to monetize, everything went to shit. Yes. I still have that bookmark bar. It's usually filled with lot of YouTube links to the left of it, pushing most of the regular sites out of view. But yeah, the point being is that I am not using it anymore. Same experience as you describe. I don't know. Okay, let's read this one. What he is saying or what she is saying. You know, it's funny to me how most AI usage was easily done through a Google search 10 years ago. It's funny to me how most AI usage was easily done through a Google search 10 years ago. I don't think the younger generation understand how easy it was to find information you needed and find it from very credible resources. Okay, seriously, it was actually fun to do school projects. There were dedicated educational search engines and just information. No ridiculous subscriber pop-ups, very few ads. Indeed, I agree with all these wonderful points that are being made. I don't know, man. I remember a lot of pop-up backs in the day. I remember a lot of pop-ups back in the day, like pop-ups on pop-ups. Maybe it was the site I was using. Well, I understood what he is talking about. Uh, yeah, I think it is mostly some pirate site, or you got the idea, I guess. Not saying you are wrong, but anecdotally, Google has gotten a lot less useful and relevant over the last 5-10 years. That was a strategic choice by the company. Okay, so this guy is saying Google has gotten a lot less useful. Let's highlight this for a while. And this person is saying it is strategic choice by the company. I don't, I mean, maybe not, but maybe the company wanted to do something, and as a side effect, it has gotten less useful. For example, they wanted to earn money, so they had to introduce ads, which resulted into the service gotten getting worse. So this way maybe, but I don't think so. The choice was directly to make the service less useful. They realized pretty early on they were a state sponsored monopoly and effectively controlled the whole search market. Okay, now all of a sudden we are talking about Google, and Google, of course, is a big part of the internet. So there is no, uh, you know, we should talk about Google, but then they had the problem of driving revenue when you already control the whole market. How do you increase mainly ad revenue when everyone already uses your platform? You make it harder to search. That way, people need to search 2 to 5 different queries to get the response they originally received in one. I think this is pretty much a guesswork at this point. Uh, that Google has done something like this. I don't think so. They have intentionally made us to click more. I think they're trying to make us click less, because now if you see there is a thing called summary. When you search on Google, summary comes up first, which is useful in some cases, but it is totally shit in other cases. I remember that when I was, few before AI, basically, when I needed a definition for the word, I just put it into the Google, and Google would give me a dictionary definition of it. Now, what is happening? Google Chat, Gemini gives me the description, and I don't need that. I know I need a dictionary definition. Then yes, I can do like define and then word, and then it gives the dictionary definition. But the default behavior is Gemini giving me things, giving me description of the word, giving me some examples maybe, But I don't want that. So if I want that kind of a thing, maybe I can go and directly use the Gemini. But I think you got my point, right? Let's read what let rest read this. Everything is a bloated video too. Just tell me how to do CRP. Grandmom's got no time for liking and subscribing. Well, that's true. That's true, guys, but please like and subscribe this video. Like this video and subscribe my channel, because I'm going to read these articles, and I'm going to bring some original content soon. I'm writing my scripts. They are in progress, and I'm setting up the things. So soon I will bring some more, very, very thoughtful content. Let's see. So please subscribe. Let's see what he is saying. Devo summed it up. Some people just want freedom from choice. Some people just want freedom from choice. This is so relevant. Let me highlight this just to remember. The websites providing informations are gone. What left are few mega corps providing a playground for all who fall into the accepted range of shared opinion information. The rest are drowned out through bots. This might be true at some level and untrue uh, in another level. What I mean by that is, yes, YouTube is owned by one corporation, but then there are individual creators who are giving their opinions. But I do think that the point is this accepted range of shared opinion. So I have seen this a lot, that I used to like some creators, but then they started, they, something went wrong. Initially I liked them, but then rather than speaking what they think, they started speaking what their audience want to hear. And how their audience is formed is random, or maybe in some cases very, very intentional. But they are only talking to that audience, and they have stopped giving opinions. They only give the opinions where their audience agrees with them, and they only give the information that is acceptable to his or her audience, and they don't tell the other another part of the information. They just forget to tell. So I mean, that has been happening a lot. But eventually, it is not that YouTube is telling us to do that. They are misusing the system, and they only give the opinion that matches with their audience. And and then they attract more people like that, and they become, they create a huge followership. So let's move forward. The internet the internet is bigger than ever. It is just most people stick to the apps on their phones. Excuse me. There is so much cool open source projects people put out there, and the barrier to entry for even self hosting your own service is super low now as well. I mean, I don't think so. Conversation is here is not about open source projects. I mean, he's probably a coder or something, but I don't think so. That's the conversation right now. What has happened isn't really that it's gotten smaller so much as it has collapsed. Instead of thousands of different forums hosted by 100 surveys, everything exists of Reddit. Instead of thousands of IRSA chat rooms and whatnot, we just have Discord. That's what I have been saying. That services are consolidated into one platform like Reddit and YouTube and Substack and maybe some other Discord, for example. So that's true. We noticed a long time ago. Around the time SEO it took a sharp decline. I actually used to go past page one in Google searches because they were varied results and they were interesting. The internet was fun in the early 2000s. So much free quality content, games, jokes, blogs, chats. No personal information needed. I miss those times. In the 90s, searching for information for a school project was fun too. I avoid using the internet today. It's oversaturated with BS. It will lead you to a years old post with outdated or irrelevant information. There is no fun. Just subscribe, pop, and you would end endless ads. I am completely on board with this point. Okay, guys, I think this is probably good enough. Let me read few more comments. Okay, I think now we are at the point where we are saying that repeated points are getting made. So so I think we are good here. So I will be reading more Reddit posts and let's meet in the future. Thank you for watching.